Let me ask you something. What if the reason you haven't hit your goals yet has nothing to do with being lazy or not being talented enough? What if the reason is something way, way stranger? What is you're not successful yet because you're trying too hard? I know. That sounds completely backward, right? I mean, we live in this culture that just worships the hustle, the 24/7 grind. It's all take massive action and make huge leaps, but there's a secret truth here. The kind of truth they don't exactly slap on a motivational poster. Because that all out, full throttle sprint, yeah, it might feel productive for a week, maybe even a month, but it almost always ends in the exact same spot: total and complete burnout. So today, we're going to flip the script. We're going to talk about how the easy path, yeah, the boring path, is actually the one that wins in the long run. Let's start by looking at the traps so many of us fall into. So what is this trap? Well, it's this idea that's been drilled into our heads that more pain, more sacrifice, more intensity, that all of that has to equal more success. But here's the thing, it's just not true. It's a myth. And you probably know this cycle, right? You get super inspired, you go all in, you make all these extreme changes, you burn super bright for a little while, and then crash. You're just exhausted, totally overwhelmed, and you have to stop everything just to recover. And you end up right back where you started, feeling like you failed. But trust me, there is a much, much better way. To really see what I mean, let's look at a little story. It's about two friends. We'll call them Mike and Dave. So 5 years ago, they both set the exact same goal: get fit and build some wealth by the time they hit 30. Same goal, but their approaches, well, they were night and day. So first you've got Mike. Mike is a beast. He goes all out. We're talking a $2,000 gym membership, some crazy raw keto diet, trying to launch 3 businesses at the same time, all on 4 hours of sleep a night. He is the poster child for hustle culture. And then you have Dave. And Dave is, well, kind of boring. He decides he's going to walk for 20 minutes a day, read 10 pages of a book before bed, and save just $10 a day. I mean, his actions are so tiny, you could almost laugh at them. Okay, so let's fast forward 1 year. Mike, he's already burned out and quit multiple times. His weight is up and down. Dave, on the other hand, has quietly read 12 books and has a few $1,000s saved up. Now, jump to year 3. Mike's chasing the next big thing. NFTs, AI art, whatever's trendy. Meanwhile, Dave has used all that reading to actually learn a new, valuable skill. And by year 5, the difference is just staggering. Mike is completely worn out, convinced the system is rigged against him. And Dave just quit his day job. Why? Because all those boring little habits have snowballed into a thriving side hustle and a really solid financial future. And this metaphor just nails it, doesn't it? Mike was trying to build a whole skyscraper in a single day. And of course, it just kept collapsing under its own weight. But Dave was just focused on laying one single brick perfectly every single day. He got it. He knew that you don't build something great in a day. It's assembled piece by piece over years. So what was Dave's secret weapon? What was the magic here? It wasn't luck. It wasn't some superhuman burst of effort. It was just simple math. And it's a force that can work for absolutely anyone. And that force has a name: the compound effect. You've probably heard of it. It's this beautiful principle that tiny, almost insignificant choices, when you repeat them over and over and over, create these huge exponential results down the line. It really is like a small snowball at the top of a hill that turns into an avalanche. And here's the real key. We're not talking about making massive changes. The magic actually happens on a much, much smaller scale. All you have to do is focus on getting just 1% better every single day. That's it. 1 page of a book, 1 short walk, a couple of bucks saved. Now look at this number. This is where it gets crazy. If you get just 1% better every day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. Nope. Because of compounding, you actually end up almost 38 times better than when you started. That's the mind-blowing, explosive power of those tiny daily improvements. But, and this is important, the math works both ways. If you get just 1% worse each day, maybe by skipping that walk or making a tiny bad choice, you don't just stay where you are, you actually decay. Your skills, your health, your money, it all just withers away until there's practically nothing left. Just look at this chart. It shows the insane gap between those two paths. It's not a small difference. It's a giant chasm. This is literally Mike versus Dave, right here in a picture. It's a choice between incredible growth or pretty much total collapse. And it's all decided by the tiny little things you do every single day. So here's the big takeaway from all this. Somewhere along the way, we've confused hard work with suffering. That path of intensity, Mike's path, it takes endless willpower and it almost always leads straight to burnout. But the path of consistency, Dave's path, all that requires is a little patience. That's the real easy path because it leads to growth that's sustainable and almost inevitable.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, how do I become Dave? How can I actually do this starting right now? Well, good news. It doesn't mean you have to totally overhaul your life. Let's just break it down into a super simple, totally non-scary 30-day challenge.
All right, step 1, the 15-minute skill. Pick one thing you want to get better at and just work on it for 15 minutes a day. And here's the trick. When that timer goes off, you stop. That's it. It keeps it easy and it actually makes you want to come back tomorrow. Step 2, the passive health hack. Look, don't go sign up for a marathon. Just add one simple, easy thing, like a quick daily walk or drinking a glass of water before each meal. Easy. And third, the no list. This one's huge. Pick one tiny thing that drains your energy, like scrolling on your phone right before bed, and just stop doing it. Because success is just as much about what you stop doing as what you start. When you boil it all down, it's really about a shift in your mindset. Mike was always fighting against time, right? Trying to cram 5 years of work into 5 months. But Dave made time his best friend. He let time do all the heavy lifting for him, just by using the magic of compounding. So what's the big, boring secret to easy success? It's this simple. Forget about the dramatic life makeovers. Forget about going beast mode. Just embrace being boring. Embrace being Dave. Be consistent. And if you do that, I promise you, a year from now, people are going to look at how far you've come with your health, your skills, your finances, and they're going to ask you, what's your secret? They're going to ask how you got so lucky. And you can just smile because you'll know it had nothing to do with luck. It was just easy.